Hey everyone, Fire here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a tool that you can use to work out exactly how much your Sentinels are worth. Quite simply, I've put together a spreadsheet calculator. It's very easy to use, it's only going to take like 10 seconds to fill out, and it gives you all of the information that you need to know. So we're going to go through a very quick example so that you guys can see for yourself how to use this calculator, and the first thing you're going to want to do is enter a reward type. Now this calculator only functions with a small handful of reward types, and they're listed over in this green column over here. Currency, Scarabs, Fossils, Legion, Metamorph, Expedition, Heist, Ritual, and Sentinel. These are the only reward types me and Grimro feel are even worth running for the most part on your Sentinels, and these are all the ones that Grimro did testing for. The only reason this calculator is even possible is because Grim has spent quite a lot of time, many hours, gathering data for all of these reward types. So we're going to use this one here as an example. This is one I've taken out of my stash. It's an Emberstone Stalker Sentinel. It has 17 charges and a 2.7% chance to generate a Scarab reward. So we're going to type Scarab in up here. The chance is 2.7. The empower count is the amount of enemies that are empowered every time you use it. That is 75. Charges are 17. And then blue or red. So blue or red just refers to whether it's a Stalker Sentinel or a Pandemonium Sentinel. In this case, it's a Stalker Sentinel. That's a red Sentinel, so we're going to type in red. Now, it's going to fill out all of the rest of the information for us, and we don't really have to do anything else at this point. So it's telling you you're getting one use per map, obviously, because that's how the Stalker Sentinel works. The reward value is 1.6 Chaos Orbs every time this procs, so surprisingly, Scarabs aren't actually that good of a reward because the price of Rusted Scarabs is pretty low. This is going to fluctuate throughout the league, however, so take it with a grain of salt and maybe decide for yourself. Anyway, so it lasts for 17 maps. Every map you run that you get the full value out of this, it's adding 5 Chaos Orbs worth of loot to your map. Now this also means that the base Sentinel value is 55 Chaos Orbs, however the total Sentinel value is 86. Now the difference between these numbers is that if you look at your Sentinel controller, there are a whole bunch of different multipliers hidden in the controller. So for example, you have a 25% chance not to consume a charge, you can empower additional enemies, stuff like that. And that's not shown here. So we're applying a generic 57% multiplier on top of the base value. That's because most Sentinel trees are picking up things that are equivalent to either a 56 or a 58% multiplier, and so I've just averaged it out to 57, which I feel is appropriate. However, if you want to be much more specific, there is an advanced calculator over here. I'm not going to go through it because I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You can enter up to 3 reward types over here. You can also individually select all the multipliers here. Remember, you're only changing values in the blue boxes over here. You don't have to worry about everything in the green. The green is just going to tell you what it's calculating, pretty much. An important thing to note is that this is not at all calculating the generic rewards you're getting from just using a Sentinel. So you could use a white Sentinel and it's still going to generate some random itemized rewards over the heads of various enemies. We can't calculate this just yet. This is going to require a lot more testing, and I don't know if me or Grimmer are going to get around to doing it, but it does add some amount of value, we just don't know, and this calculator is not figuring it out. This calculator is only figuring out the specific itemized reward types that you're entering in that you can see as a suffix on the item itself. Now, in the example I've done here, it's a 2.7% chance for Scarab over 17 charges on an Emberstone base. This Sentinel is worth 86 Chaos Orbs, which is pretty good, right? This is around half an Exalt, pretty much. And that's not too bad. It will take us 17 maps to get to derive this money from the Sentinel, so it's also not the best, because this means you're working 34 maps for a single extra Exalt, but from one modifier, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. We'd obviously prefer it to be on an Obsidian base, and maybe with a better reward type, but yeah, this is not too bad. On the other hand, if you look at the advanced calculator, I end up with an absolutely ridiculous Sentinel. I didn't grab a screenshot of it, so I just tried to remember. I think these stats are correct. I haven't input the chances correctly because I couldn't remember what they were. But basically, this one that I had earlier today that is now dead and gone, it was worth a whopping 785 Chaos Orbs. So the whole purpose of this calculator is just to help you understand which Sentinels are good and which ones are bad, because A lot of people will look at a Scarab reward Sentinel on a bad base like a Cobalt, and they will try and sell it for an Exalt because they think that they have hit the jackpot. But on the other hand, you can get things like Metamorph rewards on a really good base that's worth far more money. So if we go back to the simple calculator, I'm just going to give you an example of that. We're going to change the reward type to Metamorph. We'll give it a 3% chance in this case. It's going to empower 125 enemies. Okay. And as you can see, this one's worth 220 Chaos Orbs, so it's worth over twice as much as the Scarab reward one, yet you can snipe up Metamorph reward Sentinels quite cheap, but on the other hand, Scarabs are still pretty expensive. Shorter video today, but tomorrow we have a longer one. I've just wrapped up all of my expedition testing, and I'm going to put together a little bit of data so that we could go through it. And put it this way, Expedition is still pretty damn good. It's still one of the best mechanics in the game, so you guys should be looking forward to that video if you want to make a lot of Exalts. If you like this video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow.